Let me start with Radhika. Radhika, go ahead. The point is that these issues that are being raised by the Congress are valid issues. Why don't you talk about Manipur? Why don't you talk about Brijbhushan Saran? But they would be valid without this personal attack. With this personal attack, they've just fueled a brand new campaign for the BJP. What do you think, Radhika?
Absolutely, fair enough. I mean, if the Congress had just stuck to issues like unemployment, inflation, even stray cases of corruption against certain BJP leaders, crony capitalism, fair enough. I think they were treading on the right path. But the moment you get personal about Modi, you or your allies start making these nasty cracks about Modi, then things go completely out of hand. And history testifies to this. Right from the days of Maut Ka Saudagar, if the Congress spokesperson sort of rewinds and goes back to the past, and several other instances, the moment you make a personal attack against Modi, you put him on a very strong wicket automatically. Right in the beginning, in your opening remarks, you mentioned that wasn't there enough in the BJP's platter? I mean, they didn't really need another issue, and here comes another issue. I think they needed something like this to get the emotional resonance. I mean, Ram Mandir, fine, it's okay. Who is the leader in the opposition? Fine. There is really no discernible leader in the opposition to lead the campaign. It's a messy alliance. Everything is fine. But, the moment you make a personal attack against the prime minister, it gives the emotional traction that the BJP badly wants to rev up its campaign. And that has come at a very opportune moment. I am shocked. I mean, Lalu ji said it in Bihar, his turf. Probably his voters are not going to get impacted by whatever he said. But Laluji is not really here as a pan national leader. The Congress is a pan national party. It needs to acquit itself in every state that where it is fighting the election. And how is it going to justify the remarks? I mean, Ralu really doesn't have to bother about a terrain beyond Bihar. So I guess it's all right. He could live with this remark of his. I mean, injudicious, but probably he could live with it. Not for the Congress. I mean, the Congress should have dissociated itself, just like they did belatedly from DMK minister's remarks on Udaynidhi Stalin's remarks on Sanatan Dharma. I mean, it was a belated kind of denial, but nonetheless, they did it.
Yeah.
Now, here, as you said, they've doubled down the effort to keep this issue alive, as it were. So
Yeah.
this, I think, is not the most judicious path that the Congress is taking. And in the days to come, it will have to answer to its own constituents. They don't have to go very far. They're no, I mean, I'm not saying the Congress has to look at a wider constituency. Look at Gujarat. I mean, a veteran leader like Arjun Modwadia has quit the party only because of the stand that it took on the Ayodhya, on the consecration of
Yeah.
the Ram idol in
So,
Ayodhya.
so you believe that this is a terrible self goal that the Congress has in a way just scored. Let me bring
Absolutely.
in, yeah, Rahul Dev. Here's the irony. अगर हम actually आंकड़े देखें about dynasts and Indian Express did some brilliant research in this, so I'm actually just going to fall back on their figures. When we look at the 2019 Lok Sabha, there are dynasts in every party. 31% of the Congress candidates were dynasts candidates. Now let's go to the next slide and see how many of these can we play these. 44% of them became MPs. So 44% of Congress MPs were dynasts. But it's not that the BJP doesn't have dynasts. Ashwini Shai ji, आप भी इसको देखिए. 22%, 22% of BJP candidates were dynasts. And how does this translate into MPs? Let's play the next slide. 25% of BJP MPs were dynasts. मेरे कहने का मतलब है राहुल जी, परिवारवाद जो मोदी जी एक स्टिक लेके पिटते हैं ऑपोजिशन को, अगर ऑपोजिशन स्मार्ट होती तो वो ये आंकड़े सामने रखती, राइट? वो आंकड़े उन्होंने सामने नहीं रखे, उन्होंने पर्सनल कर दिया. मोदी जी का तो परिवार ही नहीं है, मोदी जी तो हिंदू नहीं है. लेट मी टेल यू, इन माय ट्रैवल्स अक्रॉस इंडिया, Prime Minister not having a family works to his advantage politically in perception. A lot of voters, I'm sure Radhika will also bear this out, say, उनके तो बच्चे ही नहीं है, परिवार ही नहीं है, he could never be corrupt. क्या motivation होगा उनको corrupt होने के लिए? अब आपने एक जिसको कहते हैं ना converting insult into opportunity, that is what the BJP has been able to do, and the Congress is supporting Lalu ji. Rahul, your take.
I think firstly, Lalu, what he said in a manner he said, I think this is an example of his political senility. Number one. And for Congress to support it and go all out to support it is harakiri. Besides these figures, which are self-explanatory, so I don't need to comment on them, uh, everyone knows, and every survey done in the last several years brings out the fact that Modi is the most popular individual and leader in the country. His individual popularity is not going down. It's highest and far, far ahead of Rahul Gandhi and anybody else. Thirdly, everyone knows that you cannot beat Narendra Modi and BJP, especially Narendra Modi, in rhetoric and turning everything, a brickbat, into a bouquet. He's a past master in rhetoric, in language, and turning, coming out with very attractive narratives. And it has happened. So you have handed it over to BJP on a platter, two issues. Now, A. Raja today has, only added to the fire. The question is, the basic fact is, there are enough issues that Radhika has just listed, and our friend from Congress has also listed, enough national issues that are worrisome, that are worrying the people. If the Congress and the opposition can only focus on them and not attack the Prime Minister individually, in India, people don't like these attacks. They don't like character assassination. And this is absolutely, I would say, silly. I don't want to use harsher words for what Lalu has said, but if they keep their focus on issues instead of getting down into personalities, they will, present a better picture. But now, what comes out as a total overall image of this alliance is that it speaks in 10 voices, says 20 things. There's no cohesion, and anyone is free to say anything he or she likes.